Good evening, Girls Prep Lower East Side Middle students and families. It's your principal, Ms. Strong here, coming to you on Sunday, November 15th to give you a brief update following the announcement that you received from CEO Bradshaw this weekend regarding a shift to fully remote learning. So I'm going to start with just some logistical updates and talking through the timeline. And then I really want to walk you through the schedule to make sure that you are all feeling set up for success going into tomorrow. So you should have received the public prep newsletter from CEO Bradshaw this weekend that just shared that we've made the very difficult decision to move all public prep academies to remote learning starting Monday, November 16th through Wednesday, November 25th, with a potential return to hybrid Monday, November 30th, which is after the Thanksgiving holiday. So again, this is all public prep students and staff will be fully remote from Monday, November 16th through the Thanksgiving holiday. The reason for this shift that was very difficult for us to decide to make is really that we want to create predictability and consistency for students, families, and staff in anticipation of the Department of Education shifting to fully remote learning. While we know that the COVID-19 infection rates have somewhat stabilized this weekend, we also know that the rates of infection that have been increasing are not a result of schools being open. The data right now indicates that schools have maintained an infection rate of 0.017%. Regardless, we know that the mayor may decide, it is looking likely that he will call a fully remote learning shift in the coming days. And so rather than be in a state of unknown, we want to make sure that our families and our students can prepare. Logistically, we know that this shift is going to be hard for families who have to now navigate childcare. And so again, while we fully believe that schools should be open for students, and as much as we want to be open for our scholars, we do believe that this closure is imminent and want to create as much predictability for you all as possible, knowing that you're navigating a lot of moving pieces. So what does that look like? So as we were before, when we were fully remote, our hours for students this school day is 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. with synchronous classes. Please note, this is back to our original start time before hybrid learning. So if your scholar has remained remote, we are going back to an 8:30 a.m. start for them, not a 9 a.m. start. So please make sure that all scholars are ready to log on to advisory at 8:30 a.m. sharp tomorrow so that we can start our day together. The live schedule, which is the same document that you and your scholars have had access to all along, has been updated for all grade levels, and it's going to be posted in advisory Google Classrooms. I'm also going to send it in the email that I share with you that contains the link to this video. A couple of things to point out. Consistency and predictability, again, are key. We want to create stability for students. They are going to have the same teachers that they have been having. So there are no shifts to your scholars' teachers. They are going to have the same advisors that they've been seeing every morning when they log on to advisory. And they're going to have remote classes with their advisory cohort. So I know when we began hybrid, students had class with their hybrid pod or their remote group. We are going right back to our normal namesake advisory schedule while we are fully remote. So what does that look like? I'm gonna click into the live schedule and just show you that document so you know what scholars are going to see tomorrow. Okay, again, this is the same document you have been using and scholars who've been in remote learning have been using. You'll see that there's a tab at the bottom for every grade level, as there has been. You'll see that it now says full day trimester 2 schedule, because lo and behold, tomorrow is the start of trimester 2. So when you click on the grade level tab, you're going to see, again, the schedule is divided by namesake advisory. So if your scholar is in the EJS advisory, they're going to be following their EJS schedule, which goes from 8:30 advisory, link is embedded, right on down through the day, where they have history, math, small groups, lunch and recess break, science, petals, ELA. All of these with the links are synchronous live classes. They end the day on their own with independent reading from 4 to 4:30. So one thing that you'll see on every grade level is that the Petals schedule is below. We want to make sure students don't have any issues clicking on the links in the box. So when it is EJS time for Petals, all we have to do is scroll right down here. If I am EJS, I know that on Monday, I have PE. On Tuesday, I have, and we'll talk about this in a moment because our trimester 2 Petals start tomorrow. I know to click here because I have synchronous theater. Again, I'll tell you all about the Petals shifts in just a moment, but right now I just want you to know where to find the links. On Thursday, you can see that all 5th grade Petals are asynchronous. So again, if your scholar has an asynchronous class, that means they're just logging on to Google Classroom. And then on Friday, they find their Petals links right down here. So again, first thing you do is you find your grade level tab, then you find your advisory, and then you'll see your schedule directly below your advisory name. For Petals, on all grade level tabs, you want to scroll to the bottom and you're going to see your Petals breakdown. Now, the other block to point out is our small group block. What you will see tomorrow and what teachers will be talking to students about in the morning is that right over here, if your scholar has a small group, you should have been notified last week and your scholar should have been notified directly by their teacher if they have a small group during that block. If they do, their teacher will have a link right in this column, which is where they will click to attend their small group. If your scholar is not in small group, excuse me, I had to close my door. If your scholar is not in small group, then they're logging on to Google Classroom during that time. So again, you should have been notified last week if your scholar was going to be in a small group during this first round. If so, this is where they're going to find that link. Just so you can see, each grade, the breakdown looks the same. Find your advisory. Here's your schedule. Petals, broken down at the bottom. Intervention block for small groups. Links will be here next to the teacher's name. I'll talk to you about Wednesday in a second. 7th grade, same thing. Find your advisory. Here's your schedule. Here's your Petals. Over here is going to be your intervention links. 8th grade, same deal. find your advisory. Here's your schedule. Petals is broken down here. And intervention blocks, if your scholar has a small group, will be linked right over here. I know it was a lot. I'm gonna go back to my slide deck real quick and just stamp some of the key pieces of information. Okay. So, the things that we just discussed were new in the schedule. Our trimester 2 Petals courses start tomorrow as planned. So our 5th and 8th graders are going to begin theater. Our 6th and 7th graders are going to begin art. And all grades will continue to have PE. There is no change in the PE schedule. This trimester rotation is typical of how students get to experience Petals. So it just happens to be that we're shifting to remote learning on the same day that we are starting trimester 2 Petals courses. So we're really excited. As you just saw on the fully remote schedule, your Petals courses are back to that rotation of asynchronous and synchronous instruction. Art and theater, scholars will have 2 days live class, 1 day asynchronous. PE, all grades will have 1 day synchronous. Again, just to ground you on where you see that in the schedule, if you go down to the bottom, you'll see 8th grade now has theater. Here's their links for their Petals synchronous classes on Monday and their synchronous classes on Thursday. You'll see the note right here when you need to log into just Google Classroom for that asynchronous Petals day. Okay, so again, Petals, new classes start tomorrow. While we are fully remote, they are 2 days synchronous and 1 day asynchronous. PE, 1 day synchronous for all scholars each week. Small groups, counseling, and related services are all going to continue happening. However, with the remote only schedule, the times for that period have shifted. So your teachers and related service providers, if your scholar gets speech or OT or counseling, they will be reaching out directly to you and your scholar to confirm the time. Generally, the 5th grade small group block is now from 11 to 12. 6th grade is 3 to 4, 7th grade 10 to 11, and 8th grade 1 to 2. But remember, if your scholar has a small group or a related service at that time or any other time throughout the day, the teacher or related service provider will be reaching out directly to you and to your scholar via email or phone call to confirm the time. Wednesday, we are continuing with synchronous small groups and office hours, so live small groups and office hours on Wednesdays. Excuse me. We are starting the day at 8:30 in advisory. Again, that is a shift because now that we're back to fully remote, we're starting a little earlier. So 8:30 a.m. every day is advisory. Scholars need to log in. Then there is a combination of office hours and small groups happening for both humanities and STEM classes. That happens between 9 and 11. From 11 to 12, some teachers will be offering additional office hours for scholars. Lunch is at 12 p.m. and then the afternoons on Wednesdays remain asynchronous. Scholars should be doing their independent reading, practice on IXL, and then independent work time to get caught up on any homework or tasks that are assigned for the day. You might be feeling like this little one over here. I know it was a lot of information to take in, and we've navigated quite a few changes and shifts together in the last few months. I'm confident that we're going to navigate this one just fine, and that the systems and the routines that we have in place are going to ensure that we don't miss a beat. However, if you're still feeling lost, that's okay. Tomorrow morning, advisors are going to review the schedule and the details with students at 8:30 a.m. Remember, 8:30 a.m. advisory start time. Be there or be square. Your point of contact is also going to be reaching out as usual this week and can review any specific questions you have about the schedule. Feel free to email them questions in advance so that they know what you need to know and can prepare and get you all the information you need. If you have questions specific to rostering, you can reach out directly to Ms. Lopez, klopez@girlsprep.org. Again, we are fully confident in our ability to welcome students back to in-person learning safely. We were so proud of everything that our staff and our students have accomplished in these last few weeks, reopening safely, and we are excited to be able to do that again soon. We appreciate your trust and your partnership in this journey. Again, we know that it is not easy to navigate the twists and turns, and we appreciate you hanging in it with us. That is all for this Sunday update. I spared you my bad Sunday hair day, which is why I'm not on camera for this, but you are always welcome to reach out directly to me if you're not sure how to get the information you need, and I can connect you with the right person. So have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, Girls Prep families and scholars, and I look forward to seeing everyone bright and early tomorrow as we launch full remote learning together again. Thank you so much. Have a great night.